Good evening and welcome back to Underrail. Last time we finished up partying with the locals. We were the sole survivor, more or less. Now, we did hit 26, and I dumped a fair amount of points into pickpocketing. You might notice that this bar is actually quite chunky at the moment. So what I did was I pulled up the wiki and looked explicitly at the the 3-point experience oddities. And I shot through any of them that we managed to overlook thus far, or that pickpocketing opened up. So we still need to grab the ones from these dudes, which we might try something in a second to see if that'll cover that. But things of note: fossilized claw, a curved fossilized claw of some long extinct animal, still pointy enough to rupture skin. JKK pin, an exquisite looking pin that's usually only granted to members of the JKK, of course, City. Can I remember any more offhand? The Tri-Monitor Street Receiver Blueprint. If you ever wondered how these things were made. And I believe I grabbed the one from Praetorian. Oh, actually, sword handle, an old sword handle. No one uses these anymore, though. That was a pain to get. One second. Praetorian Security Insignia, worn by members of Praetorian Security of Core City. And the last major one that I'm going to go out of my way to point out... Oh, that's from, I gotta look at the actual icons to find them. Oh. The Weird Pipe Junction, a very rare Stickman pipe junction. So, the good news is that gave us a fair amount of points. The bad news is there's only so many of those that we've missed, and that was the vast majority that weren't part of the expedition. But Aegis Sec Trooper. So, our pickpocketing is pretty good. Oh, and I grabbed some all-in from the, whatchamadiggy, the drag and drop. Took a bit, but got those. One second. Eel sandwich boost dexterity by 1. So we're going to see if that gives us just enough. And nope. So I do know what the actual threshold we need for that is, though. We're going to want pickpocketing to hit an effective 96. As for why, I'll cover that when we get there. But if we have that, that should be enough to pickpocket every oddity in the game, I would assume. So we'll see when we get there. But it's about time that we actually come and do our job, ain't it? Anyway, I hope everybody is doing well today. Let's see, do I have everything on hand? I do have my good shoes. Oh, there's part of the reason we were having some weight issues. I'm still carrying my old armor around. Yeah, that would have been real handy fighting those sea serpents, huh? Alright, so there's one thing I did neglect to grab. I will just be right back with that. And we are back. Just needed to grab another piece of gear for persuasion on the off chance we didn't hit a threshold. So, I believe, yeah, we've already been to the area that we need to go to. This is just a matter of physically going back there. So the job request was to figure out a way into and otherwise deal with the ferryman, and otherwise deal with getting a ID chip from Mutie Island. But as interesting as that is, we have something way more interesting to do now. A ferry rests lightly on the water, gently swaying from left to right. On its deck, a man, old in appearance, but appearance only. He's walking up and down the deck busily, moving and sorting some kind of scavenged junk, and at the same time displaying swiftness and strength rarely seen in people of his age. And everywhere he goes, he is being followed by a trail of smoke born of his pipe. Who goes there? He says just before introducing you to his shotgun. A potential pellet recipient? Those who are witty at gunpoint have stared down plenty of gun barrels, both as friends and foes. Which one are you? I mean no harm. I just want to talk. That's what they all say. Smoke erupts towards you, but not from the barrel of his shotgun. It obscures the lower part of his face, everything below the nose except for the lit end of his pipe above. His eyes still stare at you. He lowers his gun and grabs his pipe with his left hand. The glow in the pipe intensifies while the glow in his eyes subsides. His smile is slight. He is quick to wipe it off his face. Fine, fine. I won't blow your head clean off, but I'm not interested in talking to you either. I gotta move out soon. However, I got some scavenged material. If you're interested in a trade, that much time I do have. You know, that's that much time I do have. I'll take a look at what you got, but first tell me where to find you. Maybe next time you'll feel a bit more talkative. He draws another smoke from his pipe and unleashes it upward. You know what? You newcomers really are a persistent bunch. I might actually need to start dispensing hot lead if I'm going to keep you at bay. Don't know where I'll be next time. If you need my help that much, find me. Or don't. He blows some smoke right beside your face. Well now, here's what I've scavenged just before you came. Alright, well, we'll barter first and then pop on some gear and do the persuasion. I don't think persuasion's enough at the moment. So, he's willing to buy a couple of things, but let's just see what he's got. Good quality siphoner leather. Some okay other stuff. Might actually grab those. I neglected to pick some up. And I believe I've got the Stygian. Yeah, we got the Stygian for it. Ooh. Alright, so because I wasn't in a conversation, time actually was flowing, so... Huh. Bacon, this is Marcus. Can you hear me? Over. Loud and clear, over. That technician with the waterproof comm, he's a pirate spy. He's been using that comm to leak information to the pirates ever since he arrived here, which happened at the same time as you arrived. Did you interrogate him? Over. Yes, he got really nervous when I called him to my tent and showed him the comm. After that, it was just a matter of getting a few sec troopers and asking the right questions. You have no idea how big this is, Bacon. Who knows what would have happened if that guy remained undetected? Over. What's going to happen to him? We locked him up for now. We're going to try to get more information from him. Good work, Bacon. Chief Briggs is pleased as well. You're getting a bonus for this. That's it for now. Take care. Marcus out. Okay. Oh, and it just goes right back. Alright, admittedly, so I've never had that happen because I think this is the only place it could happen. I have never had, it just segue back into the shop screen, so I'm intrigued by that. So, if you were going to do silly stuff with explosives on purpose, this would be one way to get around them. If you're willing to deal with all of those demerits. I think I showed that off before, though. I could be wrong. Also, you might notice that the theme playing is actually a alternative version of the title screen. So we're going to grab those. And believe it or not, we're going to want some TNT. Not right now, but eventually. Butter him up real good. So before we do anything, brought back my tactical jacket and put on my super nifty bespoke buckle shoes. Oh, really? Alright, so we didn't really do much, so let's go ahead and get the persuasion gear on first, and then go from there. This is not why I brought them, for the record. I didn't count on him being here, so this was just a lucky bit of happenstance. So, intelligence, harm, wait, we'll continue. Persuade. You want nothing to do with us, and that's understandable, but we're not leaving until we're done here, so the sooner we do that, the sooner you're going to see our backs. So please, would you mind postponing your next trip just a bit and answering a few questions? He draws another smoke from his pipe, staring at you. Fine. Ask your questions then. Okay. So let's go ahead and get the bartering done again, and then, as a result, get the feedback from our boy. And before it was RNG, it popped it all, though. Ooh, okay. Loud and clear. Okay. So, okay, and he is still good with talking. You find the ferryman busy as always. All this destruction. He sighs and shakes his head. Such a waste of life. Okay. So we're going to save again. And I'm going to pop some hypercerebrics for reasons. You again. What do you do with the more interesting things you find, like artifacts and various other oddities? Are you willing to trade them too? No. He blows some smoke upward and takes a deep, calm breath. Alright. Who are you? I'm a ferryman. Ain't it obvious? I had some questions about the Black Sea. Makes you think I'd answer your questions? I'll just ask and see what happens. Then ask. What can you tell me about the local wildlife? There's only one thing you need to know. Everything here is out to get you. Everything. The solution is either to leave the Black Sea or grow an extra pair of eyes and ears. He draws on his pipe and exhales soon after. I'm interested in the general geography of this place. There's a lot one can say about this place. A lot. But I'm not willing to talk about it at length, so I'll keep it brief. The central area is where the expedition camp is located. The Pirate Bay occupies the southeastern part of the cavern, while everything to the north is Somber Baron territory. The eastern section of the cavern is made of basalt rock and is just as lively as the rest of the cavern. That's where the geysers and the fetid marsh are as well, areas you'd best avoid altogether. Place seems to have very rich and diverse flora. Where do I look for some of the more useful species of plants and fungus? There's a variety of species here. The most abundant by far are the water reeds. There ain't much you can extract from them. The honey stalks, fruits contain useful chemicals, are deceitfully tempting to eat, and you'd resist that urge if you value your life. He takes a draw and exhales smoke. Green warts, too. These can be found all over the cavern, but are most abundant in the more dangerous places like the fetid marsh and the surrounding areas. All Sormer territories. How much do you know about the history of this place, about the NFT facilities? Well, nobody really actually owned them. Little. And it doesn't matter anyway. He stares into the sea, appearing as though he's looking straight through the surface. Tell me about the geysers. They're in the northeastern corner of the Black Sea. That's the basalt region. You'll know you're near when the ground turns all muddy, covered with lumps of salt. Much like the rest of the Black Sea, it ain't a hospitable area. The steam gushing out of the hot springs can cause blisters at great distances, and the only terrestrial residents there are crabs which have adapted to such extreme heat. He pauses, contemplating and shaking his head. Not even such conditions prevented them from building their facilities there. No. What can you tell me about the fetid marsh? The marsh covers the eastern area of the Black Sea, situated inside a basalt cave system, and is a breeding nest of locusts, serpents, and other things. He puffs smoke. The pirates go there to hunt and collect various ingredients, the Sormer as well. Those who have gone deep into the marsh and made it back in one piece spoke about seeing a broken down mining equipment, machinery, and carts containing ore of various shades of green. Stone. Green stone. Sormer territory. What can you tell me about it other than that it's depopulated? Huh. You got the pronunciation right, kid. Got it right. The northern part of the sea, land, water, and air, all of it has been claimed by the Sormer. All of it. From the western caves to the geysers to the east and everything in between, kid. And they guard it with unyielding fervor. I'd like to ask you about their society. Sormer. He puffs smoke. Who are they? They are the Sormer, the Serpent-born. They are a tribe of proud, strong warriors, intolerant of weakness and fear, and outsiders in what they represent. These serpent-filled waters they deem sacred, and they'll punish everyone unworthy of entering them by spilling their guts for the very same serpents to feast on, or worse. Keep that in mind, kid. Alright, who are they? Oh, okay. Where did they come from? We all came from the same place, kid. The same place. But here, in this cavern, they precede you and me. Perhaps even the Mutie community. For all I know, they could have been here since even before those who built these now ruined structures around us. The lives they lead, the values they hold, the things they believe in, it kept them in this place for a long time. That I am sure of. But they strive towards the deep, murky waters. They strive. What territories do they control, which we already covered that? The entire northern part of the sea, land, and water. From the pools to the east, the sands to the west. He puffs smoke. Many villages, many Sormer. Many. But they rarely move south past the sea's midline. They do so only in the direst of times, like during great floods, or to fight off invaders like the expedition. That's the reason pirates and muties are able to live so close by. Occasional Sormer outcasts sail south too, they gotta, but they never leave the Black Sea, instead roaming till the hell's gut finally swallows them. Can you tell me about their way of life? They lead simple, primitive lives, focused on things that, to them, matter the most. They hunt, they grow livestock, hone their skills and crafts, practice their beliefs, and defend what is theirs. They're in tune with their environment, and even though high technology surrounds them from their birth to their death, they do not employ it. It is as though they recognize these ruins as monuments of decadence. Whatever the reason may be, kid, one thing is certain. Everything they do emerges from and is guided by their worship of the serpent, Flotstormir. Tell me about Flotstormir. You're asking too many questions. Alright. What's your opinion on Aegis Incorporated? He shakes his head. You dislike them? I dislike them. I dislike them for their arrogance. But I also pity them, kid. I pity the fools. I do. He puffs smoke. Some things you should just leave be. They don't know their place. They don't. What can you tell me about the Muties? Takes a deep breath. Not much to say about them. Sad creatures burdened by one of the worst things science and logic have produced. Their perseverance, be it driven by reason, hope, or impulse alone, is something deserving of great respect. He puffs smoke. And respect I've provided. I'm the only one they allow near. Pirates, tell me about them. The Grim Jetters. Can you tell me about them? The Black Sea has been refuge for generations upon generations of pirate crews. They come with the flow and disappear with the ebb, leaving but a few stragglers to wait for the next flow. The Grim Jetters are by far the largest, most successful crew yet. But when will their ebb come? He puffs some smoke. Yes, I've seen many a cruise in my life, yet nothing has changed. About the Grim Jetters. What about them? What can you tell me about them? Okay. What territories do they control? The Pirate Bay. That old torrenting site that somehow still manages to cling to life. Yar har fiddle-dee-dee. He takes a long draw and continues. Southern waters and eastern, basaltic shores, Port Ceto and Port Crag. These are their largest bases, respectively, with various outposts scattered in between. The Grim Jetters don't tolerate visitors, but there's a chance they'll give you a warning if you sail too close. But it all depends, kid. It all depends. About the Grim Jetters. What's your relationship with them? They don't bother me, except for an occasional fool seeking to prove something. But those I deal with easily. He puffs some smoke. I often come to Port Ceto to trade the things I find for the things I need. Beyond that, little. Let's talk about another faction. Takes a long draw and exhales through his nose. Fine. Alright, well, we've already covered them all, but what are the Black Sea factions? Natives, pirates, a community of muties, and as of recently, that damn expedition of smoke. I'd like to talk to you about something else. Fine. Alright. Where are you headed to next? Doesn't concern you. Alright. That crane of yours. He looks up towards it. What about it? And lowers his head. I'm guessing you're using it for scavenging stuff out of the sea, right? Yes, generally lifting stuff in and out of the boat. Looks pretty powerful. 'Cause it is, he nods. It is. You got something in mind, kid? No, just asking. The crane is technically overpowered for this boat, as I don't have enough counterweight to use it to its full potential. Regardless of that, lifting let's say... He looks at the crane and slightly tilts his head from left to right a couple of times. 10 to 15 ton load is generally safe if it's done close to the boat. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Don't get any ideas. He puffs smoke. Hey, do you have some kind of two-way radio on the boat? No. Is there some other way I can communicate with you? I don't want anyone bothering me. Okay. Do you have spare tobacco, or cigarettes or cigars? No. Okay. Well, the good news is I do have ways to get more hypercerebrics. I think we have to meet him again one or two more times before I can get the important conversation, so that was my bad. But I do know where we can get more hypercerebrics, so it's fine. I'll let this one go. Alright, I'm off. See you some other time. Or... Oh, wait, no, I can. Can I ask you a few personal questions? Forget about it, kid. There's nothing to talk about. Oh, wait, there actually are a couple more things, so hold up. Where exactly is the Pirate Bay? Well, if you punch in www. Southeast of here, beyond the walls of Port Ceto. For decades and decades, it's been a safe haven for various pirate crews, hence the name of Smoke. The monolith at the entrance to the Black Sea, what do you know about it? It's known as the glowing canine among the people. He puffs smoke. I've only ever seen it from below, but those who have been there and returned alive said its peculiarity is not limited to its physical appearance, or the psychological influence it imposes upon those who approach it is more than evident. Some sought more from it, but those did not retain their sanity or, in better case, did not survive. No. He opens his mouth to speak, but stops. What is it? Nothing, kid. Nothing. Takes a long draw and exhales slowly, staring in the monolith's direction. Okay. I think we've gotten everything we're going to get from normal conversation points. There was something you wanted to say when we talked about the monolith. He stares at you. So we can come back to that then. Alright, so the good news is I know exactly what prompts half the things he's saying no to. But we've done a bit of talking. Let's see if he'll at least tell us where he's headed next, even though we know. Okay. Still no? Okay. So I'm going to leave and come back and see if we can't make use of that hypercerebric still. Come on. You again. Ask you some personal questions. Okay, it might actually need more time. Alright, we'll wait. Unfortunate. So our next thing, I'm a little disappointed because I was actually kind of hoping it would go further than that. But our next deal is dealing with the Muties. The Mutie sneers at you on sight before taking steady aim at your head. He spits aside and snarls his words out as his sour, moldy breath quickly concentrates the air between the two of you. What do you want? Speak, huh? Or I'll turn you dead. Can you let me in? Why? Who are you? There's a lot of folks roaming about the sea nowadays. Alright, I'm Bacon, Aegis Incorporated. Newcomers. I thought you guys left. So why do you want in, newcomer? There's some important things I want to discuss with whomever is in charge of this place. He eyes you briefly before lowering his weapon to chest height, but still keeping it pointed at you. He spits aside again before talking. Wesley. He's our leader. It's him you want to talk to. But I still ain't sure you should be let in. See, we got a lot of folks hating on us because of our condition. Wouldn't want to let just about anybody inside, you know. It's dangerous, you know. Especially now. Persuasion. Considering the importance of the matter I want to discuss with your leader, it would be more dangerous for you to not let me in. These waters are turning more and more perilous, and I think you people would want to know more about what's going on. His eyebrows rise a bit and his face relaxes. That important, huh? Well, alright, go straight through the hall and down the stairs, then straight again into a big room right past the dock. Wesley's there. And don't try anything crooked, okay? We're armed. Okay? Okay, see you later. The old Mutie gazes at you with distrust. I am Wesley, stranger, and his aged voice grinds to a halt, turning into coughing, then into choking. His wrinkly eyelids close, allowing but a teardrop to leave one of his eyes as he hurriedly searches through his pockets. Odor of death fills the air. And then an unpleasant green substance begins dripping from the man's mouth. He finds and pulls out a handkerchief with a history. Various shades of green and red have been mixed so many times that the handkerchief is now mostly grayish-brown. He spits into it, wipes his mouth with the cleanest edge, coughs a few more times, and proceeds. And I've been told you're coming. What do you want from us? I'm looking for dead bodies. The people who built this place were implanted with microchips that can be used to gain access to the rest of the facilities in the Black Sea. This is the only one that is already accessible, so that's why I'm conducting my search here. He rolls the contents of his handkerchief, giving it one final squeeze before returning it to his pocket. And why do you want to open them? Honestly, I wasn't told anything. It's all on a need-to-know basis. But, because we want to discover their rich history. I see what you people are doing here. You're just ostentatious grave robbers. The serpentines are swarming like flies because of your intrusion. Most of the sea is theirs, you know. They've kept their distance from us since we came here. It's because of our condition, we think. but we aren't certain. What if us helping you changes that? What if they come for us? I don't wish to help you. It's all far too risky, and for many, many more reasons. You threaten to disturb many things, things we know little about. What if I can bring medication for your people? I will not be bribed by a handful of hypos and pills, even if we are always in need of those. It is not worth it. How about this? I can arrange for you to receive not only a large supply of medications, but also medical equipment that you would never be able to acquire yourself. All you have to do is let me search this place. The Serpentines will never even know I was here. They're far too busy fighting our troopers to notice anything else. Actually, they're busy being dead because I killed them. But let's not worry about the details. How do I know you are telling me the truth? That this is not just a deception? You'll have to trust me. He pauses. He then wipes his repulsive drool again with that same handkerchief, repeating the whole process of squishing a disgusting sound out of it before pocketing it. And as he stares at you, all quiet, you see questions in eyes that have met many answers, but clearly not enough. So you want those dead bodies that much? He does not even let you answer. I accept. I feel you are telling the truth, whatever your reasons may be, so I will let it happen. He hands you a key. Take this. That unlocks the way to the elevator. He points northwest. There are no bodies here on the ground level, above us, or this one below, or this one. But below us, there could be. We haven't been down there since we first arrived to the Black Sea, and I don't even remember what was down there. But it gave us a reason to stay away. I gave you the key and free passage. Before you go down there, speak to Dr. Marinov, Dr. M. He will tell you what we need. Knowing my luck, I think I'm in for quite an encounter down there. See you later. Good luck. And don't forget what you promised. A half-frozen face full of surprise and curiosity addresses you with a good half of its mouth. Simultaneously, a mild scent of staleness infiltrates your nose. Yes? Need to speak to you about certain medical supplies. Very well. I'm Dr. Marinov, or Dr. M, as everybody here calls me. Bacon, it's a pleasure, Doc. He extends his hand, clearly waiting for a handshake. Well, I'm kind enough. Rather, I should say polite enough. I have noticed, though, with the tattoo artist, they speak like they can infect people, but I don't think that's a thing. Like, I could be wrong, but still. His handshake is unexpectedly firm, considering how frail his hands appear. He observes you for a moment. One eye moves up and down. Then center. The other eye follows the pattern, but with a slight delay. We don't see a lot of unaffected coming to us, so it's always good to be reminded of how we used to look. What drove you to come here, if I may ask? Looking for something. Hoping to find it here. His eyes, one stuck in perpetual sorrow, the other burning with interest, promptly equalize. If you're looking for misery, then you struck a gold mine, friend. But if not, then I don't know of anything we could have that would be of any significance to you. What you see is what you get. Well, unless... Unless what? Nothing. You best speak to Wesley about this. That something you're looking for. I will. Don't let me keep you. Had a few more questions for you, Doc. Had some medical questions. I need to speak to you about certain medical supplies. Very well. What is this about? Aegis Incorporated would like to donate some medical supplies to your community. Wesley sent me here in order to learn what kind of medication you need. Donate? Very well. Where do I start? We need everything, really. Basic medical instruments, proper dressing equipment, analgesics, that's painkillers, antiseptics, cytotoxic agents. If you'd like, I could write it all down for you. Anything you could supply us with will be most appreciated. It will. We are fortunate enough to suffer low mortality rates from many illnesses, which are highly dangerous to the unaffected, but in turn we suffer with every breath we take. Our needs are different, which may be a good thing. I'll write everything down, and I'll rank it by priority. The doctor hands you a densely written piece of paper. There. I know it's a lot. Whatever you can spare will help us. On contact basis, see what I can do. I'll let you know ASAP. Thank you. So, selected channel, Doc Savage. Savage speaking. Doc, the Muties want some of our medicine in exchange for letting me search for the microchip implant. I have a list of the medication they need, over. He answers with a delay. Does Chief know about this? No, but you tell him that unless I appease these Muties, somehow their island's going to turn into a war zone and he's never going to get that implant. He sighs. I see your point. Silence. He sighs. Alright. Read me the list. They need. Wait for Doc's response after reading him the list. It's quite a list. Come on, Doc, can't we spare at least something? Do you realize that it's going to go out of our actual supplies? Not Union resources or... I don't know what you have here in South Underrail. This will affect us. More for them means less for us. Well, when you put it that way, there's no other option. I can't give them everything they need. That's just ludicrous. I'll check my inventory and see what I can do. Thanks. Can someone bring it over? Yeah, I'll send someone over. He sighs. Savage out. Medicine has arrived. Thank you. Thank you very much. You. Okay. So, now that we've basically gotten the okay, thanks for them medications. Those meds really make life easier. Bacon. Yeah. Wait. I got the key. Why is it still red? Is this gonna make y'all hostile? Okay, that must not be the right one. Even though that is a functional way. Elevator. I don't remember where he said it was. Huh. Well, no, that one's inaccessible. The towering monstrosity slowly turns to discover you with its uncoordinated eyes. There is no immediate reaction to your presence, but as the creature begins inquisitively tilting its head from one side to the other, you notice its face slowly morphing into a series of different, unclear expressions. Yet no matter how many of them come and go, not one of them abandons the realm of misery and vacuousness. Vacuousness? Rob the vacuous spider. It finds your lack of odious growths uncanny. The conclusion you reach the moment it looks at its own for reference. The creature then tries to touch you with one of its freakish fingers. Let it touch you. It prods you a few times in places where growths exist on it, but not on you, once rather sharply and insensitively even, but then it lowers its arm, none of its findings showing on its face before gawking at you for a few more moments. It doesn't take long, however, for it to lose its interest in you and turn its attention to something else. The liquid contents of a filthy barrel, inviting only to those with an unwholesome palate. In a strange act of awareness, it addresses you with a few words while unleashing a strong, sulfuric breath upon you, like that of rotten eggs whisked in a toilet bowl. Frank want et. You leave Frank et. Frank mad if stomach empty. The creature turns away from you. The conversation appears to be over. Hey. His breath smells like brew that had been fermented in dirty socks. What'll it be, friend? Can I ask you a few questions? Is it about grub or other things? Yeah, it's about food. Ah, that's good then. Go ahead. What have you got here? I'm feeling hungry. Well, I've got the stew, nice and warm. I don't know if you can stomach it. It's in this barrel here. Look. He points to a barrel that's being orbited by flies. That. If you want to try it, be my guest. Just don't come complaining if you die. No, Magnar's not here, sorry. But other than that, I got fish, mushrooms, some old canned food, stuff like that. Any interested in anything? Probably not. Well, Pentapus would actually be okay. Muties stew. Reduces acid damage taken. Ooh. Nope. Oh, more steamed clams. Okay, so nothing we particularly care about. Eustace! Muriel! You see a dried up, wiry mutie with noticeably bulging eyes. He's quick to inspect you but slow to respond, and does so with reservations. What do you want? The last word of his question is accented by a scent most resembling that of a fermented fish. He continues, need. What do you need? Can you tell me about the ferryman? He's an old gentleman, sailing the sea and scavenging for stuff. He trades with us some of it, yeah. He's kind to us. He nods, his eyes following with a delay. Anything else you can tell me about him? Sure. He hesitates for a second, his eye darting across the room. Excuse me. Such rapid movement gives them an odd, floaty appearance, as though they are two lubricated balls freely moving in their sockets. He's alone out there, you know? All by himself. And he's got lots of time to think about, life, the world, existence. Tell me more. Well, I can't grasp a lot of what he says. He doesn't talk often, but it's often concerned with the decline of everything, really. Civilizations, values, people. He's damn right. It's his ideas about why all those things are like that that's confusing. Open spaces above the ceiling, traveling down, irrelevance of time. It's too much for poor Eustace. Alright. You don't seem to like us very much. You? Unaffected. I don't. We don't. For the most part. For the most part? Yeah, so we've been slaughtered and banished by our former brethren for being like this, and have avoided, even despised, others. He has shown us respect and desire for cooperation. A ferryman. I know him, I've met him, but go on. A ferryman. He sails across the Black Sea on his trusty ferry. He scavenges, searches. He's old, yet it doesn't fit him. He occasionally trades with us the things he's found in the sea. We're in good relationships with him, and we have mutual respect for each other. How does he survive out there? The serpentines leave him alone. He trades with the pirates, so they don't bother him. And the creatures that dare attack him, he blasts with his shotgun. We sometimes hear it roar in the distance, as it spews pellets into the flesh of the beasts. Where can I find him? He sails around, never sticking to one place. No, but he does seem to have specific routes he takes. Eustace, he does the trading when the ferryman comes. Maybe he can tell you more. Alright, so I'm going to save again, and we're going to see if they turn hostile if I just pick this lock, because this would be... Okay. Well, that one's clearly a no-go. Okay. Thought he gave me the key. Hey, bacon. Hey. Oh? What's over here? This ventilation unit's grill has been punctured and the hole is more than large enough for you to go through. The fan inside has been motionless for decades, if not more, judging by its thick coating of green muck. Climb down the ventilation shaft. Ooh. Huh, why did it give me the... Or I must have pushed the wrong button earlier. So here's another question then. If I unstealth and walk in, do y'all do? Okay. Yeah, so I did what they wanted. Did the key glitch? Am I being stupid? Oh, that was what he meant. Okay. Alright. So, surface lading bay, you tap the screen but nothing's happening. Actually, you know what? So we're obviously going down, but we'll pick up on the next session because this is a good location, so to speak. And we'll see about clearing out the entirety of the location next time. So, for the time being, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And we will finally get that ship next time. Y'all take it easy, have a wonderful evening, and take care of yourselves. Thanks as always, and I'll see you next time on Underrail.